Last night, a smug and lying convicted felon, Donald Trump, found his way to the State of the Union address because of corruption and impotence by the United States government to convict him and put him behind bars. Before he took to the podium, he stopped to thank the one person that made sure he never saw justice for his crimes. Listen to this hot mic moment between Trump and Chief Justice John Roberts.
Thank you again. Thank you again. Don't forget.
So good. Yeah, so good, sir. The best.
So he says, thank you, does an attaboy pat on his shoulder and said, won't forget. And what he's talking about when he says won't forget, he's talking about the delay that the Supreme Court did and also the immunity ruling. And he knows that the person that laid the groundwork for him not to be behind bars, to not have bracelets around his wrists, John Roberts, Chief Justice John Roberts, owns the demise of American democracy. This is a disgrace. This is supposed to be three equal branches of government, and the Supreme Court is just as corrupt as MAGA Republicans and Donald Trump.
The Supreme Court is still doing Trump's dirty work. The law and the courts are the only thing that's stopping Elon Musk and Donald Trump's administration from ruining America's democracy.
Now, on to Doge. Doge is completely illegal, in my opinion, and the Trump administration lawyers know it. And that's why they go out of their way in court documents to say Elon Musk is not the head of Doge. However, Trump keeps saying it over and over and over again. And there are some lawsuits right now in federal court. And immediately last night, Trump said the following. He said, please put up the post. Trump says, you've heard of the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge. Perhaps you've heard of it, which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight. Well, the lawyers on this particular case immediately filed this in federal court, showing the contradiction of the president constantly saying that Elon Musk is in charge of Doge, but legally they know what they're doing is illegal. And if the country gets their shit together and impeaches these people, there are going to be criminal charges about all of this because what Doge is doing is illegal. And Musk's lawyers are trying to protect him from that.
Well, it's absolutely illegal. And they know it's illegal because they continue in court documents to say, oh, it's not him, it's not him. And then they say on the podium of the press secretary, oh, it's somebody else. It's Elon Musk. Everybody knows it's Elon Musk. And if it wasn't illegal, why would he be trying to act like it wasn't him?
Okay, next up, we have, this was really interesting to me. So, you know, Barstool Sports, it's like one of the bro kind of networks, pop culture, and it definitely leans Trumpy. The president of that, Dave Portnoy, puts out this tweet last night, and it says, gotta admit, this one didn't quite land since Elon is basically co-president. And here's the clip that he attached to this tweet.
Very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
Okay. The days of unelected bureaucrats are over. And y'all might be saying, Jennifer, why are you putting up a tweet by Dave Portnoy? And it's because the political landscape and the political messaging has completely changed. He's followed by millions of people, millions of white men, and they see that. And this type of messaging, this type of poke at Elon Musk being an unelected bureaucrat, that right there, sitting in the psyche of a bunch of these MAGA people, is a really important jab. And I bring this up because this is an opportunity for Democrats. If you see MAGA people saying this, you need to be piling on big time. Our biggest message that we have to send right now is, why are we allowing a South African-born man to take away Medicaid, Social Security, all of these government programs, to fire people at the FAA that allows planes to crash left and right in just 7 weeks? Also, he doesn't have to pay taxes. And if he would pay taxes, then we could afford to have air traffic controllers. And this guy wasn't elected. And I showed you the court case prior to that. And when you're losing Barstool Sports, Democrats, this is where you get the knives out and go. You gun with this thing. This to me is a very significant thing because it shows that part of the MAGA base, there's not this huge worship of Elon Musk. And for the permanent record, they went to him a couple of times last night and it looked like he was tripping on drugs.
Absolutely. And I heard one commentator say they were in the gallery and he kept looking at the lights, and then kind of like zoned out. And then he heard something about him and he was like jumping up in the air like he does. So I think we can all agree it's tripping balls.
Okay. Listen, it's really important that you support our show by supporting our sponsors. And Pumps and I have to stay up to date on the news all the time in order to do this podcast. And our biggest go-to news source is Ground News. You guys, this is a female-founded, subscriber-funded news site, and it shows you and it filters what the right is reporting, what the center is reporting, what the left is reporting. It fact checks. You are responsible for the news you get. You have agency over the news you get and making sure that you understand what are actually facts. And Ground News is, I cannot impress upon you all enough how much Pumps and I use this.
What's so nice about it is I wonder, where are these people getting these ideas? And then I look to Ground News and it shows me the factuality of these articles and who's reading it. And then I have an idea, okay, that's where these crazy ideas are coming from.
Listener, join us by going to groundnews.com/IHIP to get 40% off the Ground News Vantage plan that Pumps and I use every day. They're subscriber funded and female founded. By subscribing, you're not only getting a tool we all need today, you're also supporting our work. That's Ground, GROUND, news.com/IHIP, and we'll put the link below in the show notes. Okay, next up. Trump, remember he used a little Marco? What he called him little Marco. And he is definitely still little Marco in Trump's mind. And Trump checks Marco on the in the State of the Union last night. And I just want everyone to know reports are leaking left and right that Rubio is telling his former Senate colleagues that he feels iced out, that he thought he was going to be the chief diplomat, that he's not able to make any decisions. And Trump patronizingly checks him on the world stage. Watch this.
And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes.
I mean, good luck, Marco. And in my mind, it's like, good luck. Try to check me. Try to be the head of the State Department. And Bernie Sanders said it best. You can do all these nominations all you want to. The person that's in charge of the federal government, there's two people, in my opinion, Vladimir Putin and Elon Musk. This whole thing last night was just theater. You know, Trump had a script. He had to go out and he threw out all of his greatest hits, lie after lie after lie. But Marco Rubio, Trump has had disdain for this man for over a decade, and it was on full display last night.
I have no sympathy or empathy for Marco Rubio. He knew what he was getting into. And now he's got a senior advisor that was put in place by Elon Musk that goes by Big Balls, that is not even 24 years old.
He's 19.
Okay, so he's the 19-year-old. So the fact that he thought that he was going to go in and have any power, I have no sympathy for you. But this, to me, let me ask you how you thought. I thought that Trump kind of knew they were on thin ice internationally and the diplomacy was not working. And he was putting it out there to little Marco, I'm going to blame it on you. So do you think Trump knows that he's floundering internationally, or do you think he's too stupid?
Of course he knows.
Okay.
He doesn't care.
Right.
This is an alignment of autocrats, intentional. This is an intentional alignment of autocrats. I believe he has known that he is going to flounder internationally since 2016 because he is beholden to Putin financially and probably for a lot of other compromise stuff. The thing is, these guys don't want democracy. They want autocracy. And so Marco Rubio is probably saying, hey, I think you guys were too hard on Zelensky. He's really our ally, blah, blah, blah. I think that was a check. You know, like I own you. And when we align with autocrats, I'm going to give you the blame for it too, Lil Marco. That's what I think it is. This is an intentional historical moment of realignment. The United States is joining an economy 1/20th the size of the European Union. There is no financial benefit for us. There is no national security benefit for us whatsoever to align with the axis of evil. And they're doing it on purpose. This is purposeful. This is Putin winning the war that he has fought for over a decade. A former KGB agent, a murderer, a war criminal, a butcher, a dictator, and he has won. And how do I know this? Because probably 40% of Americans are pro-Russian.
Right, which is amazing.
Wild. It is wild. Okay. I always like to leave with some hopium, especially for my darling Pumps. And Pumps and I both absolutely adore Representative Jasmine Crockett. And she's always got the sound bites, in my opinion, that are the most relatable. Pumps, I don't know if you've seen this, but this is my gift to you as we do these very difficult, depressing episodes. Play the clip.
This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico. Yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the fuck up because I'm ready to get on with it.
Jasmine for president. Why is it that Jasmine Crockett is one of a handful of people speaking in real terms that people understand? Why are we picking fights with our allies? Why are we aligning with Russia? Somebody tell me.
And because Donald Trump is compromised by Vladimir Putin, and this should be the top of the story, above the fold, all day, every day. Think about this. Donald Trump was zero evidence started this campaign that Barack Obama wasn't born in the United States. And every major legitimate news source picked it up as a lead story with zero evidence. He was born in Hawaii, end of story. They kept feeding it and feeding it and feeding it. Yet there is mountains of evidence that Donald Trump is owned and compromised and financially compromised and probably sexually compromised by Vladimir Putin. Mountains of evidence. And we're still asking, why are we aligning with these people? And it's because Donald Trump is a Russian asset, and he has been cultivated by a very gifted, manipulative KGB agent, and that KGB agent has won. And we're all sitting here trying to rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic, and these fuckers know exactly what they're doing, and they've been playing the long game, and they have him checkmated. And now they're getting some of the American public to think that it is a good idea to join forces with a very weakly positioned Russia, that somehow that's going to be beneficial to us, not to mention what a horrific disgrace it is to anyone who has ever served in the armed forces for the United States. But anyway, that's our uplifting news for this morning, and we will be back later today to report on some more stuff from the great United States of America. Please subscribe to our channel, and we will see you all later.